Hi guys, happy new moon. So we're going to talk about the new moon today. New moons are potent for manifestation. New moons are all about planting those seeds for a new beginning, and I'm going to show you where you can do this in your life, where it will be the most potent for you to use this energy. And hi, if you don't know me, my name is Jenna. I like to talk about astrology and the energy updates here so you can use the energies of the universe to co-create your reality. And we do use the real sky here because we need to see where the planets actually are at. So we can really be tuned into these energies, where the sun is where our awareness is, our consciousness is, where Mars is. That's where the masculine energy is, where we can take action, where we can be, powerful and driven. Where Venus is, this is where we're finding, more just appreciation with what we desire, more beauty. This is, where we can really get a little boost with our manifestations too, and get aligned with the feminine internally, to make those manifestations happen. And manifestations is actually really just co-creations, the way that we co-create with the universe. So this new moon is happening in Libra, and this is fun. I did just start using the true sky, but I love how the moon is black. You can't even see the moon. Yeah, it's a new moon. There it is. You can't even see it though. But yeah, that's what happens, so a new moon, the moon aligns with the sun. The new moon is where we're planting a seed for a whole new story that will play out over the next month. And when the sun and moon are aligned, it's us becoming aware more so of our internal world and our emotions and our internal narrative and our own internal story. And we're able to recognize the old impulses that we used to, take action towards, or the stories that we would create. And the sun kind of brings this consciousness, this conscious awareness of how we can move more towards the light and how we can create new stories, new narratives, new, just a new evolved way of being. And in Libra, this is all about relationships. This is about the other. So if you want to manifest love with this, this would be a great time to do that. If you want to manifest a stronger relationship, a new way of being in relationships, this would be very powerful. Libra is all about also how we evolve out of old cycles that don't really serve us anymore. And karma has a bad name because karma has been known or been used, spiritually in the past to say like, oh, you were bad in a past life, so this is your karma. So you're kind of screwed for the rest of this life. But what karma actually is, it's really just a tool for self-awareness. It's where we recognize where we had a blind spot, where we learned some sort of distortion, something that was, human truth or a truth of this realm versus cosmic truth, where we can really start to see clearly, where we can evolve into thoughts, actions, and behaviors that are actually more so aligned with us and our soul and who we truly are at that higher level. So Libra is actually really all about ascension. When they have the heart and the feather, Ma'at, the story how she would weigh the heart and the feather in the afterlife. It really is all about how can you live from the heart in the purest way possible, and how did you live from your heart and your soul in the purest way possible, because that is the pathway to raise your frequency, to be lighter, light like the feather, to ascend into higher levels of being, where we can raise up into the higher dimensions and become aware of if we're in alignment with that. Libra energy is if we're not following our heart, and if we aren't following our intuition and our higher truth, then that's when our life gets chaotic. That's when we get into bad relationships or bad jobs or, just that's when the discourse comes, because that's like, okay, like here's where you're not in resonance and, with life. So you can recognize that what do you need to get rid of so you can get in alignment with your truth and lead more so with creating your life from that place of peace and harmony that's within yourself. So it starts with getting in alignment with yourself first and creating that peace and harmony within yourself and listening to your inner truth. You got to meditate. You got to really go within so you can get in tune with the bigger perspective. It's very easy with Libra energy, actually, to get in tune with that bigger perspective of why we're here, and we're just a piece of the puzzle, because Libra is all about community and, people. And, we just have, the more we can get out of our own personal narrative and story and being kind of selfish with that, the more that we can tune into the bigger reason of why we're here. We're here, to work together. So while the Sun and Venus are in Libra, I mean, this is just major Libra energy, which is very 5D, very big picture. So it is a great, great time to really go internal, really connect to your own inner truth and your imagination and where your higher self is calling you. A way that we can release a lot of our own personal stories and the narratives and the situations that we might be in that might be keeping us stuck is to zoom out, see the bigger picture, see, life as just this, we're basically on an Earth experiment right now. And the more that we can allow ourselves to kind of step into that bigger way of being, and we don't keep ourselves so stuck with the small things, the more we can allow ourselves to kind of allow that bigger vision to work through us, So this is a great time to kind of take a step back and from your own personal narratives and stories and kind of just release, allow that bigger perspective to come in, that inspiration, that vision, and choose to see the bigger picture, see the bigger vision, kind of tune into the collective consciousness, see how you can help raise up the collective consciousness and realize that we're all working together. And it's a lot easier when you realize that you have, help, that we're all kind of working together in some way and that you're evolving out of the lessons, you look back at the past, you release all those narratives in the perspectives that you could beat yourself up on, but this is where you got to just find the lesson in it. As soon as you find the lesson, then you can believe in yourself more and you can have more self-trust, and then you can believe in your vision and align your daily actions, behaviors, and habits along with your vision. So this new moon really recognized where your life is very peaceful, very harmonious, very in flow, and also recognize where there's a little bit more chaos or stuff that's not really fitting anymore, stuff that just kind of lowers your vibration. This is where you can kind of make those adjustments, because if you prioritize your heart, and it sounds cheesy, but it is actually like how you fully anchor into alignment in this reality. If you're in tune with your heart and you have an open heart, like you are fully going to be fully in tune with your consciousness, and nothing will really rattle you, especially with the upcoming times and everything. You're going to be able to see, beyond polarity and everything. You're going to be able to not lose your center. So being in your heart is a very, very important thing, during these times. It helps you ascend, and then it helps give you direction and your intuition and so many things. So really like finding, being in your heart and your own heart's vision during this time. Your heart helps you follow your own rhythm, in this universe. It helps you find your rhythm in with where you're supposed to be in this world. It actually does help you connect you to this world too. So tune into the purity of your heart, see what vision and guidance that you get during this time, see how you can create more harmony and balance in your life, see what things you can do, how you can live more so by the laws of cosmic truth and the laws of the universe. And when you do that, you just have a tendency to create more peace, harmony, and balance in your life too. Because when you prioritize your own frequency and your own heart, then your frequency is a harmonizing force for others, and that shit spreads. Like, actually, I think, I don't know, it was an Instagram post, but I mean, a horse has a huge harmonizing field. You know, you get really peaceful around a horse. But people that really work on opening up their hearts and work on, you know, their own vibration and, you know, being very centered, being very grounded in themselves, they emit their own frequency that causes other people to just be a little bit more harmonious, calm, grounded, and, you know, anchored, and then high vibrational at the same time. So get into alignment with your heart and see how you can be more so in alignment in all areas of your life with, you know, more conscious choices and actions with your own truth. This moon might be a little bit bumpy because it is literally, you know, opposite Uranus. So there's going to be some shakeups, but whatever is getting shaken up, you know, is not, you know, that's something to pay attention to. Uranus is like the star card or the tower card, you know, a lightning bolt like hits the tower. And if it wasn't a secure foundation, you know, then it's might be something that needs to be adjusted or something that needs to be changed. But at the same time, I love Uranus. You know, Uranus is a master manifesting planet. If you were out of alignment, it's going to shake you up and get you right into alignment. And, you know, it'll electrify you. You know, you can kind of get like random curiosities, get excited about something, follow some new path, meet a random person, you know, just awaken. Like you can emotionally awaken, you can awaken by learning something new. It can kind of expand your consciousness pretty fast into a higher perspective. So be prepared for that. You know, and it might have to do with relationships or money or security or resources. How can you make things more secure and kind of look towards the future? But at the same time, you know, you're going to be able to do it in a very harmonious and balanced way that is so in alignment with your truth. And as long as you're in alignment with your heart and your truth, then you're going to be going in the right direction. And I love how Mercury's exactly here too. So mentally, we're there, you know, we see it, you know, there's a mental click, there's communication that comes your way. There, you have awareness with this new beginning. So emotionally, we're connected to it. Like our conscious awareness is connected to it. Venus, the way we want to create the things that we appreciate, you know, that's also, you know, in the sign of Libra too. So this looks like majorly like we can create, you know, a lot of just harmony, peace, and balance in our lives with whatever we're really getting in tune with during this. And I love Mars, how it's going to be going through, you know, this transformation through Scorpio, but more so when it gets into a focus. And I'm going to make a video about that. I've been going into this sign, and it's like this, of course, this is literally the most important sign out of all the signs. And of course, it's been like blocked out most of this time, but of course, like anyway, I'm going to get into that later. There's a nice trine with this new moon to Saturn and Neptune. And with Saturn and Neptune, we really are just dissolving a lot of, you know, the old world, you know, basically, so we can kind of be more so in alignment with our higher selves and our soul in this higher perspective. And it looks like, you know, trines, they really just come to us. There's, you know, it's like easy, it's breezy. It's like, okay, this is, you know, very soulfully aligned. And I like how there's still a nice sextile to Uranus still. So this is very helpful with, you know, being able to stay optimistic and in alignment with your soul and your spirit, and, you know, having trust and faith in the universe. You can randomly find the right direction of if there's anything going away, if there's anything dissolving, this is like, okay, this is the new direction, the new seed that we're planting now, because this is where we're going in the future. And this is what's going to set us free. And it could have to do with new ideas and new community. And with Jupiter retrograde, we're going over like the way we go about our everyday life. Gemini, that's also our thoughts. The way we apply our beliefs in our everyday life, the way we think every day. And yeah, it just looks like very expansive. You could just be very just discovering something new, kind of, a new conversation, a new person comes into your life. It's the way we think about things. It could even have to do with technology, our siblings, going internal and realigning with what's really true to us and what really fits with us. Same with Neptune and Saturn too. A lot of planets retrograde. We're releasing a lot of stuff. So, when planets are retrograde, it's like, okay, or when planets are direct, it's like we take on all this stuff. It's new. When it goes back, it's like, does this fit? Does that fit? I don't know. There's a different way to think. There's a different way to be. There's like what I thought would work, and then this actually doesn't work. And then, there's just this kind of like readjustment to make things more solid. And I love how Uranus is still trining Pluto at 0 degrees of Capricorn. I mean, has anybody noticed Pluto at 0 degrees of Capricorn? And by the way, like, I think this is like way more powerful than looking at Pluto being in Aquarius, because Pluto in Aquarius is like, okay, power to the people. So the people rebel and the people fight and whatever. But Pluto at 0 degrees of Capricorn, it's like, we're rebuilding actually in this very grounded way. The structures that are here right now, like all the stuff is really coming up to the surface, that deep, deep corruption that has been there for a very, very long time. I mean, however you feel about Candace Owens, she actually isn't on either party's side anymore. She's just fully awakened. She's been awakening for the past couple of years, I think, since she got fired. But like now she's calling all of it out, and it's like so insane, like how much is really, really coming to the surface. Like we always knew all the churches were kind of corrupt, but this is like a whole new level. So anyway, Pluto is definitely tearing down the old structure that has been there for a while. And, that's going to be transformed. And then I just think it's really powerful that we have the power to just choose the structures that are going to be more sustainable for the people that we actually want to see. Capricorn is actually very motherly energy. It is very, it's what we dedicate our time and energy into for the long term. And we decide the things that we really, really care about here. And once we decide that, we will endlessly give and give and give to the things that we truly care about. So this is a time for us to be very mindful about, like, where's our money going? Where's our resources going? I've been shopping way, way less on Amazon, like little things like that. Support small businesses instead of the big businesses. Just become aware of the underlying corruption so we can really transform, the current structures in a very grounded, practical, solid way. I think Jupiter in Gemini actually is majorly letting us see both sides, and that is actually a major part of how we can evolve our conscious awareness, because we've been so stuck in polarity for so long. But now we're at a time where we're like seeing both sides, and when we do that, it lets us create a third thing. If both sides can work together, take the best from both sides, then we see a way to move forward, a way that we can evolve. Being able to see unity is a way that we can massively evolve. And I think that's, happening decently right now. At least we have a little bit more time with Jupiter and Gemini, so that's good. This is where we're kind of evolving into higher knowings also. And where we're feeling free to question things more, because questioning things is powerful. We should be questioning everything these days and figuring out what truly resonates with us. Because there's lots of distortions, out in the world right now with how everything's been run. And they're coming to the surface, and us being able to give our own authority back and our own free will and, our own minds back. We need to stop giving our power away to the authorities and start, trusting our own minds to make decisions, and trust that we actually are seeing what we're seeing. The more we will actually have power to the people, and the more that we can transform things for the highest good of all. Okay, so I'm going to go through all the signs. You can check out your sun sign if you want to get aligned with your soul mission more so, and that bigger perspective, your career, the theme in life that you really want to go towards. You can look at your moon sign for how you're internally feeling, the way you're processing everything, your thoughts, it's your feelings, it's the way you perceive the world. And your rising sign is going to be the most accurate. So Libra, this is a brand new, and do I want to do cards? Let's see. So Libra, this is a whole new beginning with yourself, your identity, who you are out in the world. And there might be some, just jolts or frustrations from, a relationship or some other person. And, this is good at the end of the day, because when you get triggered, you release yourself from whatever was creating resistance in the first place. Really, I wish I knew that when I was younger. If someone triggers the hell out of you, really dig into that and figure out why, because that is where your power is. It's no joke. It is uncomfortable. But I swear, as soon as you get in there and go why do they make me mad? And why do they make me act like my lower self or whatever that is? That's where you can see how you can transform that to be a more powerful version of yourself. So very powerful. I like the trine to your sixth house, taking care of your diet and your health, and, choosing work routines that are very aligned. And trine to Jupiter in the ninth house, that's aligning, your beliefs. Maybe you've been a little bit capped off with your beliefs, where you can kind of, see a bigger vision. But the first house is a powerful house. This is yourself. This is your identity. This is your body. This is how you present yourself to the world. And it's all about bringing that internal, more expansive version of you external. You want to show up out in the world as the woman who has it all, or the man who has it all. And, seeing how you can step more so into your higher self and externalize it. So this can be a whole new beginning where you really plant that seed. This can be a whole new beginning in any area of your life, because the first house really is, your relationships, where you live, where you work. You can change any of these things and really get in tune with a bigger vision of what's fully aligned with you. So, as long as so you're getting into alignment with your inner truth, so you can really start to manifest that externally. And you are a powerful manifester right now with Venus that entered the first house. So as soon as you decide and you make that choice, and then maybe you do affirmations or visualizing or whatever you do to kind of manifest, to bring that into your reality in a more effortless way. And yeah, you might change your habits or your routines and your daily life and your behaviors, but that would all be very supportive anyway to get you on track with that longer term goal or vision with what you want to go after. So know that a river of blessings wants to come your way. Release constraints. There might be old ways that you were perceiving the world, or stories, or just something that kept you in your smaller self, where you can release that, see the bigger picture, get in tune with your higher self, and step into your true self. Because soul radiance came out. So when you get into your higher self, you always can allow more of your soul's radiance and your heart radiance to really expand and out into the world and brighten up the world. And setting boundaries. You might have to set some boundaries with somebody, threshold, protection, honor. It's all about honoring yourself and having that ultimate self-love for yourself. So you can set the boundaries where there might they needed to be there, because your feminine intuition is going to be very, very strong with this tiger. So sometimes like we get angry at something because it just doesn't feel right. There's a subtle this happens to me all the time. There's a subtle manipulation or something going on there. You don't fully know why this is irritating you, but you're going to be getting clear with this. And, really tune in, listen to that, honor the insights that you're getting with that. And I think that will allow you even more so to release all the constraints to really fully embody that highest version of yourself and go and conquer and take on the world. I mean, these are beautiful cards. All right, Libra, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Scorpio and a focus. Okay, so this is happening in your 12th house. And, I was listening to something like the 12th house is equally as powerful and almost more powerful with just how you are able to self-actualize more of yourself into this reality. Because the 12th house, the stars are like right on the horizon, like right there. So like you kind of see them more even than the first house. So you can really, really embody more and more of your higher self into this avatar here on Earth with this like new moon. And you can really get aware of how you can do that. So pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to, big visions, really visualize with this, meditate, connect with your inner world and really get in alignment with that, because that's just going to allow you to really step into yourself in a whole new way. You feel super motivated and empowered and be that natural transformer of energies, out in the world like you are, because that's really what you do. And the more that you allow yourself to set those boundaries with, protecting your energy and having that higher frequency and everything, the more like you can radiate out in the world and know what's for you, what's not for you, following your intuition. But yeah, this is how you can create more peace and calm in your life, and how you can release anything that might have been bugging you in your subconscious. Release that. There's lots of love and compassion with this, full moon in the 12th with Venus here. There's just a lot of nice energy in your subconscious. So you can really just get in alignment with your higher self. And yeah, just have a lot more power with actualizing it. I do love or there might be some disruptions from another person or with work, but any trigger is always helpful. If you always get triggered with someone, they are doing you a favor. Like figure out why, what is that trigger? And you will become more powerful instantly. Like, and I wish I spent more time doing that, when I was younger, but like that is what you need to do, because you will claim your power super, super fast. If you investigate the trigger. So guide, there might be a guide coming your way, just really illuminating your path. Sometimes with the 12th house, we can kind of go, get lost a little bit so we can be found again. So we kind of relax and we allow ourselves to be a little bit more in flow. We kind of work on our passion projects. We kind of really get to know what's more important to us at that higher soulful level. And yeah, you might just get signs or synchronicities or a guide coming your way that shows you kind of very important direction. And there's a wolf there. Look at that. So wolf is like finding more of your community and everything too. Sensuality came out. So your feminine power is very, very strong. So make sure you're in your body and you're really listening to your intuition and your body's wisdom, and you're maybe working on something creative. Get your feminine energy all boosted up. I think that'll give you a lot of powerful insight too. And healing earth, the power to give and receive healing. Recognize like your just natural ability to just give healing. You transmute energies for other people so easily. And make sure as much as you're giving, it's being reciprocated, at the same time, because you are a powerful healer and you're the anchor of the higher vibrational energies. You could receive a really big vision of what you're supposed to create, and or just strong guidance to go in a certain direction. But yeah, pay attention to your dreams. Our imagination is actually just a quantum manifestation tool where we're getting in touch with past versions of ourselves or future versions of ourselves. So we realize that that is a reality, and it's all up to us to just choose it and then live, choose that reality. So we get in alignment with that. And so we go towards creating that reality. All right, Scorpio, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Sagittarius. So this has to do with your hopes and dreams and visions for the future. This is big picture, very exciting, dreams. And there could be a whole new beginning with this. You could work with some sort of new group. You can try something new on social media. Somebody can come your way that is, expansive and expands your world into a whole new direction. And it might really free you. It might free you from the old mundane things, like the old patterns, habits, and stories that you were keeping yourself a little too limited in. So you find this bigger way to be out in the world. So the 11th house, sometimes it's like you go do something random, but it kind of expands your world into exactly where you need it to be. So you can go make magic happen out in the world. And yeah, there can be a new friend that comes your way that ends up being, more meaningful, like a friend into lover. There can be just major insights, visions, and just like a big picture vision that you see. So you just can, get more so in tune with that. Our imagination is just a quantum manifestation tool. And if we're seeing something like a future version of us that is an actual reality, we just have to choose it and, get in alignment with going in that direction. So this is a great moon to really visualize, to really receive, brilliant ideas, maybe go out and have some fun. Like if you're feeling inspired to do that, connect with people. And yeah, it can kind of inspire you in certain directions. Let's see. Portal, infinite mind, awakening consciousness. So yeah, this is a very awakening new moon. This could be a light bulb moment, something just awakening you to a higher level, a higher way of being, an emotional awakening. Harvest, gathering of blessings. So yeah, some rewards can come your way too, because the 11th house is where, rewards randomly come in. If we've been, working at a career for a while, this could be a new beginning to receive where you plant to receive rewards like a lot easier if you've built something up. There could be new marketing strategies, new ways of co-collaborating where it's just like you receive a ton of abundance in a lot easier way with co-collaborating in a certain group. And yeah, it could start out as an idea with this new moon. And you can just choose to get in alignment with that. And yeah, telepathy. I love that because Libra is very telepathic too. So transmission, perception, communication. So higher communication and perceptions can come your way. But wolf came out. So that is all about finding your wolf pack, that is all about finding your group of like-minded people that is very supportive and uplifting. I like how she's holding a branch up to her heart. So definitely listen to your heart's guidance. I think your heart's being like purified right now. It might be good to spend some time out in nature to kind of receive more downloads and everything too. But harvests might be coming your way. I think you can see how you can really have abundance in the future, especially 4-4. That's like a lot of stability coming in. But yeah, let in the infinite mind for sure with this new moon, because I think there will be higher ideas and visions and big picture things that just enter your consciousness and you can get super excited about it. And yeah, just let your mind elevate during this. All right, Sagittarius, thank you so much. If you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Capricorn. So this is happening in your 10th house. This is your career. This is your legacy. This is your long-term goals. How do you want to show up out in the world? What do you want to be known for? And you majorly getting into alignment with your heart and your inner truth with that. And with Uranus in the 5th house, there could be just awakenings with your creativity, with you wanting to express yourself in different ways. You seeing more of the beauty in life. You seeing how you can live in more harmony with more beauty and peace, when you just choose that deeper soulful alignment. There could just be big light bulb moments with that bigger direction that you want to go in, especially with Mars in the 11th. You're super motivated to kind of broaden your world with new people, new hopes and dreams, new ways of co-collaborating with people. And yeah, this looks like maybe you could totally find your tribe too, because with this trying to, Saturn and Neptune in the 3rd house, maybe you're finding your people, releasing old people out of your life that just aren't resonating with you anymore. So you can really find your group to co-collaborate with. But yeah, you can, with this trine with Pluto to Uranus, major creative ideas can bring in a lot of stability and a lot of abundance, and they can be completely transformative to you in the way you show up out in the world, but it's going to let you show up out in the world in a way more powerful way that is more truly, you, and allows you to fully step into your power. So adjustment, looking back, moving forward. See, where you've been looking back. Maybe Uranus is more so in the 4th house. You're shaking out older roots or, old stories from the past that were maybe keeping you stuck, old narratives. So you can release that and look forward, kind of trust with the owl in the bigger vision that you're really stepping into, because the owl kind of knows, like it kind of, it can fly in the dark and see in the dark in a different way. So you can see in the dark right now, and you got to just trust, you can get some major insights and just inspiration and just knowings. And it's all about, just trusting that. But miracles can happen. I love how the miracle card came out. Ancient wisdom is coming online right now. So you could be receiving really strong intuitive messages from your ancestors, but also just like from your body. Our DNA and our bodies kind of know everything, our past lives, the future, and it's all about kind of letting that bodily knowing kind of come online. But the more that you can trust the intuition that you're getting, the more miracles can happen. But you got to trust in the miracle. You got to have faith in the miracle. And sacred gratitude, reverent appreciation, prayer. So yeah, be open to receiving. That is the way you can be open to receiving. If you live in gratitude, if you just have that appreciation, you can receive that bigger picture and that insight and that guidance with what you can plant with this very powerful energy. And it could just be a new behavior, new way of being, or it could actually be something physical, like, maybe meeting somebody new, maybe co-collaborating, maybe starting a business, a new marketing strategy, something like that. But either way, definitely very powerful energy to work with. All right, Capricorn, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Aquarius, this is happening in your ninth house. So this is definitely where you can receive higher visions and dreams from your higher self, or just like higher, like inspirations. And inspiration is from your higher self, though, and it is like a future timeline that you can actualize. But yeah, it's something that will get you on your Dharma timeline too. So really follow your excitement, follow your passion, go on an adventure. You could be booking a trip that would completely change, your worldview, the way you see the world, and kind of get you inspired to go in a more meaningful direction. So you can be more so on your Dharma timeline. The opposition of the fourth house, there can be disruptions with home, family, releasing old stories that maybe kept you stuck and limited in the past, small self stories that kept you in familiar ways of being, familiar emotional patterns, all of that. It's like shaking that loose so you can be just more radiant at the core of your being. And, or maybe it's like, yeah, getting rid of or adjusting the way you go about your everyday life. Maybe there's a small, like a mentality that was keeping you in your smaller self. You could be learning something new that majorly awakens you. Yeah, but you're super motivated with work, with your 10th house, your work, your career. What's meaningful to you? What do you really want to go after? What really gives you that soulful drive and motivation and gives you that passion? But this is the time where you can majorly reprogram yourself. You can listen to, if you recognize any limiting beliefs, especially since Mercury is retrograde, you can have major awareness with it, and you can see what was keeping you, stuck and just in that smaller story, where you can have more trust, faith, and belief in that bigger direction that you're going in, and you can be very excited about it. And yeah, you can liberate yourself in a whole new way and elevate into a more exciting story. So idyllic times, the garden, paradise. I think you seeing this new perspective, and maybe it's a dream, maybe it's a vision, whatever you're inspired by, is letting you set up your roots in a whole new way that is more like paradise, that is more like the way that you want to live, that's very, transformative and secure and, grounded. But divine feminine mother, you're going to be receiving very, very strong downloads and just insights and awarenesses. So make sure you're getting in tune with the feminine energy, you're journaling, you're, tuning in, the whatever way that you connect, with your inner world and the feminine. Maybe you're creating something, maybe you're cleaning. Actually, that's where I get the best downloads, is when I'm cleaning or when I'm in the shower. But yeah, you can receive just some sort of just major insight. And healing earth, the power to give and receive healing. So yeah, you could definitely actually be traveling with this card coming out with the ninth house. Like maybe you're doing grid work actually. So maybe you get inspired to travel, do something, go somewhere, but it's really healing to earth, and it's healing to your spirit and your soul. And you're kind of retrieving more of yourself, like when you go on those trips and everything. So definitely, if you're feeling inspired with going on a trip, learning something new, going on a spiritual path, ninth house is whatever is really inspiring you, so you can broaden your world. And that can really help you get in alignment with your higher soulful manifestations that can happen a lot easier if you just let yourself release, so you can be open to receiving this higher aspect of you. All right, Aquarius, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Pisces, so this is happening in your 8th house. So this is where you can make money moves. I don't know. If you see some sort of investment, this would be a really good time. If you want to start investing more of your time and energy in your business, or starting a business. That's a really good time too. If you want to co-collaborate with somebody, great time to do it. Well, opposite Uranus, I don't know, maybe it's a good way to evolve it, good way to like evolve your communication and everything, evolve the project, evolve the way you show up online. This could be a very inspiring idea with, creating something with one of your skills or talents. Maybe it's an idea for writing or blogging, creating something. Yeah. And then with the trine to Saturn and Neptune in your first house, it's like wherever you're investing your the eighth house is where we deeply care about things. It is that Scorpio house where we have to listen to that deeper, intense aspect of our soul and our emotions that are like calling us in certain places, to connect with people, to, really spend time on this project. What do we truly care about? What do we truly value? So when we spend more time on that, it actually is like, it does fill us more so with that joy and that bliss. So this is where we can kind of be very unapologetically in pursuit of our joy instead of feeling like the low grade guilt and shame. So see where you can maybe, if you're not allowing yourself to go after those deeper soul desires in some aspect, this is where you can have a nice transformation and start channeling that, make a change, channel that into what you really care about. Prioritize the relationship that you love, or your loved ones a little bit more. But yeah. Okay. So in the trine to the fourth house, it's like, yeah, you can find a lot of support with family and roots and foundation. If you've been needing to move, this would be a great time to move, actually. And you can find, probably a place for a pretty good deal that you really, really like. Let's see. Yeah, you're massively unwinding old ways that you used to be out in the world. So you can kind of evolve and embody that higher aspect of you. So allowing yourself to kind of go deep and journal and maybe do some shadow work during this time can allow you to do that and allow you to find your power. So you can really launch off out into the world with Mars in the ninth house, onto more so your Dharma timeline. Okay, so friendship, support, fun, unity, play. So you can find, friends that are deeply meaningful during this, see who's really like, there with you, with your shadow self, with your light self. That's where the best friends are. Touching earth, planting something new. So yeah, you can really plant something new, during this full moon, where you want to invest your money or your time or your energy in. That's really deeply meaningful to you. That's kind of getting you in alignment with that bigger picture with where you want to go. And sacred purpose, eternal flame, ancestry, legacy. Yeah, you could be remembering deeply, like something that's very deep within you, that's just in your DNA, that's in your, like, it's a knowing. You could feel intensely motivated, like you're bigger than this, you're worth more than this, you want to go like do this, that's like you are meant to be bigger. You definitely get that kind of knowing with eighth house transits too, and that can make you make some sort of change. So know what lights your fire. That is a part of your purpose. That's going to get you into alignment with what you're here to do. And it's all up to you to kind of recognize it. She's like in this dark forest, but then she finds what really like lights her up. And that's the direction. All right, Pisces, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Aries, so exciting. This is a new beginning with you in relationships. So this can be a way you can manifest in a relationship for sure during this time. You can manifest better relationships during this time. whatever awareness that you get with relationships is what you can create, you know? So get into your heart, get into your inner vision of what you want it to look like. It's easy to have those conversations right now. I mean, easy-ish, because like like triggers might be being hit right now with Mars in your 8th house, but it can be smoothed over at the same time with Venus in the 7th. So yeah, it's all about really getting really truthful and honest with yourself so you can have those conversations with your significant other, or you're just getting into alignment with what you really want in love, and you're receiving this higher insight and inspiration to, you know, start a hobby, to try this new thing. That's the best way that spirit usually talks to you, to like direct you towards meeting somebody new. You know, you could be interested in something new randomly, and you go take a class and then you meet somebody and all of that. So manifest in your ideal person in this relationship. In this, if you're single with this full moon, and my friend did this, and he came like the guy like came in so fast. So really, if you want to get serious about like manifesting in a man or a woman, you can totally do it. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, if you're in a relationship, you can massively improve it, you know. And it also helps to kind of visualize the kind of relationship you want. Oh gosh, I was just kissing my cats, so I have hair. And if you want to improve your relationship with your cat, that it's a great time to do that too. Um, yeah, with Jupiter in the 3rd house, great time for communication. Maybe you need to have a talk about finances, or, you know, um, sensitive topics, basically. You know, the 8th house, it's usually like, because Mars is in the 8th house triggering this stuff. So the 8th house could be like the sensitive topics about money, sex, like insecurities that you can talk about, and you can get so much closer. And with Saturn and Neptune in your 12th house, you're majorly getting into alignment with your higher self. Your higher self is on a loudspeaker saying, like, this might be the higher direction to go in. This is how you can step into more embodiment. This is for you. That's not for you. All of that. With the opposition to Uranus, you could be upgrading what you value, and the way that you see yourself, upgrading your own value. And yeah, okay. So if you need to have conversations about having a raise, it's going to be a very powerful time to do it. Okay, so sacred action, decisive focus. I think you can get majorly focused in a certain direction that is very inspiring to you, that is very uplifting to you. Opening heart, deep connections, water blessing. Yeah, you can definitely open your heart and have those conversations, those open, soft, vulnerable conversations that like lets the feels out, so you can really create a whole new safety zone, you know, with you and your significant other, you know, so you can be tight bonded. Sensuality, feminine wisdom, passion. Definitely get into your sensuality with this new moon. That helps you, or your feminine energy with this new moon. That can help you receive a lot more downloads and insights. Maybe you want to create something. Maybe you want to dance. Maybe you just live in, just self-care, self-love. Great time to do that. And healing the heart, power of self-love. So yeah, there can be major breakthroughs with loving yourself, and seeing how you can go through your own transformation with that. So you can magnetize in a relationship that loves you just as much as you love yourself. That's why you have to love yourself, because otherwise you won't attract in a relationship that loves you just as much. So make sure you boost up your self-love if you're single, and if you're in a relationship, yeah, but either way, boost up your self-love with this. Yeah. All right, Aries, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Taurus. How's it going? Okay, so there's going to be a new beginning in your sixth house. This is your health, your diet, your exercise, your routines, your physically, what do you do every single day? What is the work you do? What is your habits? This you can improve all of these things with this new moon. And it's very important. The sixth house is very important because that's kind of how we take care of our body and how we really love ourselves on a daily basis and how we prioritize the things that we love that are very supportive so we can, be supported out in the world when it comes to going after our bigger dreams and visions. With Saturn and Neptune in the 11th house, it's like there is a big dream, there is a big vision that you want to take seriously. And you taking care of yourself and you prioritizing things in your everyday life that are very meaningful to you and getting you in that direction, mind, body, spirit is what you need to be doing. So definitely start a new workout routine if you want to, if that's helpful. Start a new diet, could be a little bit cleaner. I just got a Berkey. Oh my gosh, like way better than tap water. Like you literally just put filter water in it and it's like way better than bottled water. Like you put tap water in it, it gets all the crap out and you like have fresh, pure water. It's so insane. Like I can't believe I took so long to get one of those. But, you could get a Berkey. And that one is the best one, even though the other ones are electronic. That one gets everything out. So even though it seems a little basic, like that is, if you want fresh, pure water, that is the one to do. If you want to reorganize the way you go about your everyday life, this is the way to do it. If you want to have conversations with your partner who handles what chores and all of that, this is a good time to do that. Because it's opposite Uranus in the first house. So there's a way you're evolving and upgrading and, expressing yourself in different ways. And maybe you're awakening in some way. And you want to free yourself from, the mundane. So if you're feeling that inspiration and you want to free yourself from whatever mundane task or way of being, behavior, patterns, this is the new moon to completely free yourself from it and never look back. Also, you can receive really inspiring ideas when it comes to like your business, starting something that will make you a lot of money, new marketing strategies, if you want to ask for a raise. Powerful time to do that. Okay. So divine masculine, electric, active power. So you're being like motivated in some sense. You could be motivated to take action towards something, feel that impulse, feel that inspiration, start that project, start whatever it is. Wings of light, becoming something new. So you could be just really up leveling your vibration. You're getting rid of some habit, pattern, way of being. I just like watched this video where I guess potatoes like keep your frequency lower. I don't know if I'll get rid of potatoes, but something like that can even be in your diet that like lightens up your frequency. Go with the flow, letting go, cleansing, and receiving. So it's kind of like the masculine and the feminine are getting aligned. So that's really, really powerful when it comes to your everyday life. I think you are getting an upgrade to your masculine, but at the same time, you're seeing where you can kind of sit back and receive and be more so in tune with yourself and your vibration. And that's very important to recognize too. You can literally push so hard towards like a project. And if you're not internally aligned with it and getting that guidance, like either through imagination or you're working with your own affirmations to manifest it, it takes so much longer to accomplish anything. You have to get internally aligned also, and it's equally as important as doing the external. And then sacred gratitude. Maybe you want a gratitude practice in your everyday life, reverent appreciation prayer. Gratitude opens up doorways. It can allow you to receive that inspiration massively, especially during this new moon. And yeah, maybe you want to get out into nature and, connect with the tree. That is very calming, actually. So I recommend it. All right, Taurus, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Gemini. Okay, so this is a fun one. This is in your fifth house. So this is all about your fun, your passion, your pleasure, your play. The way you express yourself. How do you radiate your light out into the world? How can you be more unapologetically yourself, following your joy? Because that's actually what's going to take you towards all the good things in life. And yeah, if you've been wanting to meet somebody, if you're single, this is the time to set those intentions to meet somebody new, somebody really, a strong connection can come into your life, or, maybe it's a fling in the beginning, but it can be stronger later. And if you need more fun and passion in your current relationship, then this could be a new beginning for that. But if you receive an idea for a creative project, if you want to go do something fun and random, oh, the sun's coming out. It's been raining all day. Yeah, so go do something fun that really brings your soul a lot of joy, that what lights you up, what makes you excited. That's your soul trying to get you to go in a certain direction, to go towards what's meant for you. And that energy is just really amplified right now. So you could definitely meet and that's also how people meet their significant other a lot of the time. If you're manifesting someone and you get interested in a new hobby or something like that, that's okay, go in that direction, because there's somebody that's also interested in that and they're meant for you. So yeah, sacred breath and sound, life force communication. You are getting in touch with your fun and your joy and your excitement, and it could majorly be something that helps you elevate out into the world in a whole new way, because responsibilities are, dissolve, or there's a different way of restructuring your life with Saturn and Neptune in the 10th house. You're getting soulfully aligned, and you're letting go of all the old stories, ways of being that were keeping you limited. So you can be more expansive and more of your bigger self out in the world. And you got to follow your joy to get in alignment. Because Spirit always speaks in joy, passion, and joy, bliss, excitement. And yeah, that's how you go in the right direction. Which the trine to Jupiter too, it's maybe an opportunity just comes your way. That's very creative. That's very fun. But if you receive any ideas like that, or if you just want to, magnetize an idea like that, or somebody into your life, if you want to manifest, it's super, super easy. So whatever you want to manifest, just realize your ability to create that. The fifth house is just your creative energy. So I think you can kind of manifest anything that's really just feels good, with this new moon. So circle of joy, timeless dance of life. So realize life is a spiral, and, the more that you just follow your joy and excitement, you can get more signs and synchronicities and recognize that you've already been here. And even if things seem heavy right now, you're headed towards more peace, love, abundance. But it's all about getting your energy and attention and focus constantly going in that direction. Well, not constantly, because we are in a shedding year too. So we're shedding a lot, but at the same time, realize your power to go towards the new. Sacred breath and sound, life force communication. Some playful communication can really come your way. Really go towards whatever lights you up, what makes you excited. Dolphin is very intelligent and higher vibrational, playful energy. So it's getting you in alignment with your higher self. And yeah, you could definitely, her head's lit up, so you could be receiving just doing something fun and then receiving a really brilliant idea with what you want to create or what direction you want to go in. Yeah. And guide, the illuminated path. So I think a path can definitely be illuminated. with this new moon. And if you need it to be, definitely ask for it and it will be. All right, Gemini, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Cancer. This is a whole new beginning with your home, your roots, your family, your environment, whoever you live with, just your internal core, your internal being, and you can majorly elevate with this. I love the fourth house because it's kind of like how we emotionally feel, on the most consistent basis, like even when we're by ourselves. So when we can get honest and truthful with ourselves in our own parts, this can be an opportunity to, elevate like our overall emotional field and frequency. When we realize what we're done with, what we can let go of, whether it's an old story or if we need to set a boundary or something. And yeah, there can be a lot of love and forgiveness with family, though. That is very meaningful, very grounding, very fun. But yeah, with the opposition to Uranus, there can be new ideas, new inspirations, new bigger picture things that kind of come your way. And this can be a moment where you see the inspiration and you see that exciting, like, place that you can go out in the world. And it's just time to release the smaller version of you and allow yourself to step into the bigger version of you, that higher essence of you to really, come in and be embodied. Definitely listen to your guides during this. You can get very strong, intuitive messages from the other side, from your higher self. So you go towards like just something that's very meaningful and purposeful to you. So you get more so aligned with your Dharma timeline. And yeah, for the basic stuff, you can just go through remodeling with your home, rearranging with the home. But that's very important too. That actually helps you be very productive. When you make your home and, area environment like really nice, very beautiful, then you just get inspired more often. And yeah, it can be really, really good. There can be a random relationship that comes in that's very transformative with the Uranus trine to Pluto. And it could be just a very powerful, soulfully evolving relationship too. Let's see. So healing the heart, power of self-love. Yeah, you being able to connect with your own love and having a lot of self-love does make you more magnetic. It'll attract better co-collaborators in your life. I like how it looks like the Three of Pentacles, co-collaborative relationships that are very supportive, very grounded. But yeah, you're getting more grounded. You're getting more like just rooted in your self-love. And that's actually a portal that's opening you up to, infinite, more of the awakened consciousness in the infinite mind. So definitely be open to those random ideas. Write down those random ideas. Any inspiration is actually just a future version of you if you choose it. And you just have to realize that and then choose it and go in that direction if you really, really want it. But yeah, your imagination is actually a quantum tool to kind of connect to different timelines, future and the past, and you choose, obviously in the future, like who you want to be, if it's an inspiration, if it's a random thing that you want to do, an impulse, then it's like, okay, you can do that. Just decide it and do it. But miracles, yeah, I think you're really tuning into your ancient wisdom. So when this card comes out, it's kind of like there's something inside of you that like you're meant for more, you're meant to do more. You might feel this some sort of calling, but it's like a knowing within you that's leading you more towards miracles and more towards what's really meant for you. So this might be a seed that is just really planted from this like knowing that you're getting from your body, your DNA, or your ancestors that you're planting right now that's going to lead to a lot bigger things. And that's super exciting. Circle of eternal joy, timeless dance of life. So yeah, have a lot of fun with this. Mars is in your fifth house, so it's time to have fun, be excited. create something, express yourself in different ways. But follow your joy and follow your passion. And that is your higher self speaking to you and getting you on the right path. And it could, is this a 44? No, 41. Yeah. All right, Cancer. So if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Hi, Leo. So this is happening in your third house. So this can be a nice new beginning with projects. You know, it could be something on social media. It could be a blog. It could be something writing, using some skill or talent, maybe monetizing something like that, maybe learning something new, teaching something new, a bright new beginning with that, and maybe planting a seed, starting that project, starting the class, the online class or whatever. And yeah, it could be a very a new beginning with that. You could be shifting your mindset when it comes to something, getting along with siblings more. With the opposition to Uranus, it's like maybe showing up, this switch in mindset or your daily life allows you to show up out in the world in a completely different way that is more aligned with you. It is more expansive, and you see that it is aligned with your hopes and dreams and visions for the future, and you're connecting more so with like-minded people. And you could be getting along with siblings more. But what else was I literally? Oh yeah, for the single Leos, if you want to meet somebody new, you can meet them in the neighborhood or on a dating app. Really powerful time to do that too. Let's see. And yeah, the trine to the eighth house, it's like maybe something that information comes your way or something with this new moon, and it elevates those deeper fears. Because the eighth house is where we have those deep fears and where we want to hang on to some things out of like security and everything. And yeah, something magical can definitely come your way. That's just like, oh, okay, time to release that. That's like, yeah, feels better. Okay, so Pluto trying Uranus, there could be like new work that you take on, new daily life routines, habits that allows you to kind of show up out in the world. New work actually. If you want to look for a new job, this is a great time to do it. If you've been needing to ask for a raise, yeah. Okay, divine masculine energy, electric active power. And the third house actually is very, very powerful because that is our mindset in our daily life. That is the divine masculine energy is our thoughts, or, it's a lot more than that, but our thoughts are electric, so what are we thinking? What is the story that we're telling ourselves on an everyday basis? Because that's what we're sending out into the universe, and that's what we'll kind of get back. So you honing in your divine masculine energy, which could be taking action towards something, or it's like getting more in control of your thoughts and your mindset on a daily basis. But it looks like the divine masculine energy is definitely upgrading. Sacred breath and sound, life force communication. There can be very exciting communication that comes your way during this time, and maybe it really opens you up into a whole new world that just is really aligned. The dolphin is always like a higher vibrational animal. So it's like exciting soulmate comes your way, or exciting communication, or exciting something, but it's playful, it's fun, it's like speaking to your soul, and it's kind of leading you in a certain direction that's very exciting, that's making you your life force. You're passionate about it, you're excited. And then clarity, planning, releasing illusion. This is a great new moon to release past illusions, like the ways that you used to perceive the world, the ways you used to operate in illusion. There's so many ways that we operate in illusion sometimes, where you're getting that full clarity and you're kind of releasing yourself from that illusion. So you're just more aligned to mind, body, spirit, and building your world, creating expansion, networking. So this is going to allow you to create your world in a more powerful way.
Maybe you're networking more, but you see some sort of opportunity that will expand you. And yeah, you could be socializing more, you can meet somebody new, there could be a new marketing strategy, new online strategy, just yeah, something that's very expansive and co-collaborative, because 3-3 came out too. So very co-collaborative energy, working with other people, and it's very supportive and very exciting. All right, Leo, if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Virgo, time to manifest that money, time to manifest that bag. Okay, so this is where you can plant new seeds for more money to come your way. This with Mercury going retrograde here, maybe you're having a mindset shift about money. Where have you been telling yourself stories about money that have actually been limiting, you can just have this awareness around it and then have this boost right after, because Venus is here kind of boosting up your value and your worth and the ways that you make money, the ways that you can create money. Maybe you're elevating what you value in general, because your values do, like, your values are important, because that's actually when you set your values, you can create more money, but you have to recognize what you value. And when you recognize what you value, also, you just create more of that. So recognizing your value, what you value, can be very, very powerful. Starting some sort of new income stream, asking for a raise or a promotion is a good time to do that. But yeah, just having a little boost with your value and your self-worth, that's a great way to do that. Like, recognize your worth. So you boost yourself up so you can ask for that raise or go after that job, after that opportunity, start that business, whatever you're really feeling called to do, whatever you really value. And yeah, there can be a powerful co-collaborator that comes your way, a one-on-one relationship that you want to work with, that, you guys are working together and it gives you both a boost in money and resources. You can be seeing expansive new ways to show up out in the world when it comes to your long-term goals or work or opportunities and new connections. And there can be a breakthrough with beliefs, with the opposition to Uranus in the ninth. You can break through limiting beliefs or worldviews, ways of perceiving the world that were actually limiting you. And we're constantly going to be going through this, like breaking through beliefs for the rest of our life. But the more that we can elevate our beliefs in the ways that we see the world, the more that we can have an elevated worldview. Actually, the more expansive and free life actually becomes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is definitely a portal. You're connecting with infinite mind, awakening consciousness. Yeah, you can receive an idea that just really opens up your mind in a whole new way. That's very exciting. Miracles, you're getting in tune with ancient wisdom. So this, could be just an internal, like, insight that you get that is so strong. It's like some sort of knowing or calling. You're being called somewhere. You're meant for more. You're meant to kind of go on this journey or this path or start this job or do this, whatever you're feeling called to. But know the ancient wisdom that's in your body, that's like getting you in touch with this seed that wants to be planted. And it could just be something small. It could be like an idea or just a change that you decide to make. Sometimes with the second house, we decide to change our diet, but when we change our diet, it changes the way we live, and changes the way we value ourselves too. So usually, it's all connected. It can lead to increases in money also. And sensuality, feminine wisdom. Make sure you really connect with your sensuality, like self-care, self-love, enjoying the finer things in life, dancing, whatever you do to get in touch with the feminine is what you should really boost up right now. So you can make yourself very magnetic to the things that you want, so you can receive more of what you want. And if you want to create something, this is a good moon to do that too. And River of Blessings, releasing constraints. So wherever you were, this is helping. Wherever you were feeling constrained before, you're going to be like, this is going to release you from that. And that's like this opposition to Uranus. There's going to be some sort of awakening, some sort of like, why was I even doing things like that? Some sort of, releasing from whatever constraints that was actually limiting you. That allows you to step more so into your power. Yeah. Like she's holding a bowl. So it's like a very intuitive message coming your way. And there's a powerful like tiger, jaguar. You're allowing yourself to step more so into your independent power with that. Because jaguars, I think they're mostly alone. With the cats, well, most big cats are alone actually, besides lions, because they're the only ones that go in the pack. But anyway, okay, so stepping more so into your power with this like intuitive knowing, very exciting in this awakening of consciousness. Very exciting. Okay. Thank you so much, Virgo. If you receive a brilliant idea for a project or some sort of inspiration, know that is you in a future timeline. You can do it. You just have to choose it, create it, all of that. All right. Thank you so much, Virgo.